Everything you know about the universe might be only 5% of reality. Most people spend their entire lives looking down. They wake up, follow routines, chase money, scroll endlessly through screens, and sleep without ever realizing that above their heads exists something so massive, so mysterious, that it makes every human problem feel unbelievably small. The universe is not just a collection of stars floating in darkness. It is a place filled with questions that no human being has fully answered. And maybe that is what makes it so terrifying and beautiful at the same time. Think about this for a moment. The Earth feels huge to us. Oceans seem endless. Mountains look gigantic. Entire countries feel impossible to cross. Yet compared to the universe, our planet is less than a grain of sand lost in an infinite desert. Right now, as you listen to these words, there are billions of galaxies stretching across distances the human brain cannot even imagine. Each galaxy contains billions of stars. Around those stars may exist worlds nobody has ever seen, civilizations we may never meet, realities completely beyond human understanding. And the strangest part is this: humanity still knows almost nothing. Every time scientists believe they are close to understanding the universe humbles them again. We invent stronger telescopes, and suddenly we discover something even more impossible. We look deeper into space, and the darkness becomes larger. It is almost as if the universe is reminding us that human knowledge has limits. For centuries, humans thought the Earth was the center of everything. Then we realized we orbit the sun. Later we discovered our sun is only one ordinary star among billions. Then we learned our galaxy itself is only one among countless others drifting through the cosmic ocean. Every discovery destroys another illusion of importance. Every answer creates 10 new questions. And maybe the greatest mystery is not what we know, but what we cannot know. There are places in the universe where the laws of physics begin to break apart. Regions where time slows down. Massive cosmic structures so enormous that light itself bends around them. Scientists observe strange signals from deep space without understanding their source. Entire areas of the cosmos appear invisible, yet their gravity affects everything around them. Imagine that. Something unseen controls galaxies, and humanity still cannot explain it. The universe hides most of itself from us. Even more disturbing is the silence. When you truly think about the scale of existence, one question begins to echo inside your mind. If the universe is so large, where is everybody? With billions of planets potentially capable of supporting life, why does space feel so empty? Are we alone? Or are we simply too small to notice what already exists around us? Maybe advanced civilizations once lived and disappeared, long before humanity existed. Maybe somewhere beyond the stars, another species is looking into the sky asking the exact same questions we are asking right now. And yet, despite all our technology, humans remain trapped on one tiny planet, staring upward in confusion. Sometimes, people fear mystery because mystery reminds them how little control they actually have. Humans want certainty. We want clear answers. But the universe does not work that way. The deeper we explore, the more mysterious reality becomes. Scientists themselves admit that most of the universe is still unknown. Think about how incredible that is. Humanity created cities, airplanes, satellites, artificial intelligence, yet we still do not understand the true nature of existence. What existed before the universe began? What exists outside it? Does time even have a beginning? Could there be multiple universes beyond our own? Questions like these do not just challenge science. They challenge the human mind itself. And maybe that is why the universe fascinates us so deeply. Because when humans look into space, they are not only searching for stars, they are searching for meaning, searching for purpose, searching for an explanation of why they exist at all. The night sky is more than darkness filled with lights. It is a mirror reflecting humanity's deepest curiosity. Every star reminds us that there is still something greater than human ego, something beyond our daily distractions, something ancient, powerful, and impossible to fully comprehend. And perhaps, the most humbling truth of all, is that the universe does not owe humanity understanding. There is something strange about human consciousness, something science can describe, but still cannot fully explain. Out of everything that exists in the universe, stars, planets, black holes, entire galaxies, somehow the most mysterious thing may be the human mind itself, because inside your head at this very moment exists awareness, thoughts, emotions, imagination, the ability to question reality, and maybe the most unbelievable part of all is that the universe created a creature capable of observing the universe. Think about how strange that really is. Atoms formed stars. Stars exploded and created the elements necessary for life. Those elements became planets. And somehow, after billions of years of cosmic evolution, consciousness appeared. You appeared. A living being able to stare into the night sky and wonder, why do I exist? That question alone changes everything. Most people never stop to think about the fact that human consciousness itself is a mystery. Scientists can study the brain. They can observe neurons firing. They can map areas responsible for memory and emotion. But there is still no complete explanation for awareness itself. No machine has ever truly replicated human consciousness. No equation fully explains why we feel alive from the inside, and maybe consciousness is not just a random accident. What if human awareness is more deeply connected to the universe than we realize? What if thoughts are not simply electrical signals, trapped inside the brain? What if consciousness itself is part of something far larger? Throughout history, humans have always felt there was an invisible connection between themselves and the cosmos. Ancient civilizations looked at the stars with reverence because they sensed that existence carried hidden meaning. Even today, people experience moments that feel impossible to explain logically. Intuition, sudden emotional energy, the feeling of entering a room and sensing tension without anyone speaking. The strange way music can alter emotions instantly. The way certain thoughts can completely transform a person's reality. The human mind is powerful beyond what most people understand. Your thoughts shape your emotions shape your actions, and your actions shape your future. In many ways, your inner world creates the reality you experience externally. Two people can live through the exact same situation and experience it completely differently because consciousness changes perception. That means reality is not only what happens around you, but what happens inside you. And maybe this is why so many humans feel disconnected today. Modern life constantly distracts the mind. Endless scrolling, noise, artificial stimulation. People rarely sit alone with their own thoughts anymore. They fear silence because silence forces them to confront themselves. But in silence, something interesting happens. You begin to notice how active the mind truly is. Thoughts never stop moving. Questions never fully disappear. Consciousness keeps searching for meaning. Some scientists even believe consciousness may be one of the deepest mysteries in the entire universe. There are theories suggesting reality itself may depend on observation. That awareness somehow interacts with existence in ways humans still do not fully understand. Imagine that. The observer may be connected to the system being observed, and the more humanity studies reality, the stranger it becomes. Quantum physics revealed that particles behave differently when measured. Time itself changes depending on speed and gravity. Space bends. Reality becomes uncertain at the smallest levels. The universe behaves less like a predictable machine, and more like something alive with complexity far beyond human intuition. Meanwhile, human consciousness remains trapped between logic and mystery. You are made of the same elements as stars. The calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the oxygen you breathe. All of it was forged inside ancient stars billions of years ago. In a literal sense, humans are connected to the cosmos. The universe is not separate from you. You are part of it, a conscious piece of it. And maybe that realization changes the way we see ourselves. Most people live believing they are small, powerless, insignificant. But consciousness itself may be one of the rarest things in existence. Out of endless darkness and silence, awareness emerged. The ability to dream, love, fear, imagine, and question reality appeared inside the human mind. That is not ordinary. Perhaps the greatest mystery is not simply whether life exists elsewhere in the universe. Perhaps the greater mystery is why the universe produced consciousness at all. Why matter became aware of itself. Why humans feel emotions so deeply. Why we seek purpose even when the universe offers no easy answers. Maybe consciousness is the universe trying to understand itself through us. And if that is true, then the human mind may be far more powerful than we were ever taught to believe. The deeper humanity explores the universe, the more disturbing the truth becomes. Because scientists eventually discovered something that changed everything we thought we knew about existence. Something invisible. Something impossible to see directly. Something that controls galaxies themselves, yet remains almost completely unexplained. It is called dark matter. Imagine looking at the night sky and realizing that everything humans can see, every star, every planet, every galaxy, every explosion of light across the cosmos makes up only a tiny fraction of reality. All the visible matter in the universe, everything known and familiar, is only a small percentage of what actually exists. The rest is hidden. Scientists discovered this mystery when they observed galaxies behaving in ways that made no sense. Stars were moving too fast. Entire galaxies should have torn themselves apart based on the amount of visible matter they contained. According to normal physics, they simply should not have remained stable. But somehow, an invisible force was holding them together. Something unseen was creating gravity, and that realization terrified the scientific world because it meant humanity was missing most of the universe. Think about how strange that sounds. Right now, surrounding you throughout the cosmos may exist enormous amounts of invisible matter passing silently through reality. You cannot touch it, you cannot see it, yet without it, galaxies themselves might collapse. The universe is literally being controlled by something humanity cannot fully detect, but the mystery becomes even darker. As scientists continued studying the cosmos, they discovered another impossible phenomenon. The universe is not only expanding, it is expanding faster and faster. Imagine throwing a ball upward and instead of slowing down, it suddenly accelerates away on its own. That defies normal expectations. Gravity should gradually slow the expansion of the universe. But instead, something mysterious is pushing everything apart. That unknown force was named dark energy, and once again, humanity faced another terrifying truth. Scientists have no complete explanation for what it really is. Let that sink in for a moment. Human civilization built cities, airplanes, satellites, supercomputers, and artificial intelligence. We split atoms. We walked on the moon. Yet the majority of the universe is still made of forces humanity barely understands. Dark matter and dark energy together appear to make up almost all of existence, while ordinary visible matter, the stars, planets, and humans themselves make up only a tiny piece of the cosmic puzzle. In other words, humans may understand less about reality than they imagine. And maybe that is what makes the universe so humbling. Every discovery reminds humanity how small its knowledge truly is. People often act as though science has answered everything. But real scientists know the opposite is true. The more answers we find, the larger the mystery becomes. Dark matter cannot be seen directly because it does not interact with light the way ordinary matter does. It is like an invisible skeleton supporting the structure of the universe. Galaxies appear wrapped inside enormous halos of it, silently shaping the cosmos through gravity alone. Meanwhile, dark energy seems even stranger. It may exist everywhere, throughout space itself, constantly stretching reality outward. Entire galaxies are drifting farther away from each other because of a force nobody fully comprehends, and this creates terrifying possibilities. What happens if dark energy continues forever? Will the universe eventually become so stretched apart that galaxies disappear from each other's skies? Will stars burn out until only darkness remains? Could reality itself one day tear apart at the deepest level? These are not science fiction questions anymore. They are real scientific possibilities. The universe may have a destiny humanity cannot stop. But maybe the most unsettling part is this. Dark matter and dark energy prove that humans experience only a fraction of reality. Our senses are limited. Our eyes see only certain wavelengths of light. Our brains interpret only tiny pieces of information. There may be layers of existence surrounding us that humans simply cannot perceive. And if most of the universe is invisible, how much of reality are we missing in our daily lives as well? Sometimes people assume mystery is weakness. But mystery is what drives human curiosity forward. Without unanswered questions, humanity would stop exploring. Dark matter and dark energy remind us that existence is still filled with secrets waiting beyond the edge of understanding. The universe is not simple. It is deeper, stranger, and more unsettling than human imagination ever expected. And perhaps the greatest shock of all is realizing that the invisible controls far more of reality than the visible ever could. Human beings live their lives believing time is simple. We wake up in the morning, watch hours pass, grow older year after year, and assume time moves in one straight direction forever. Past behind us, future ahead of us. It feels normal, predictable, permanent. But the deeper scientists explored the universe, the more shocking the truth became. Time is not as stable as humans once believed. In fact, time itself may be one of the greatest illusions in existence. Think about this carefully. Right now, every second feels identical to the one before it. But according to modern physics, time can actually change depending on speed, gravity, and location in space. That means two people could experience time differently under certain conditions. One person could age slower than another. 1 hour in one part of the universe may not feel the same somewhere else. That sounds impossible. Yet science proved it. TMI, Kerfraktikering, Skirturna, want Kerfrak, 2. The closer an object moves to the speed of light, the slower time passes for it compared to someone standing still. This is not theory anymore. Experiments with satellites and atomic clocks confirmed it. Even the GPS systems humans use every day must adjust for changes in time caused by gravity and speed. Imagine that. Your phone works correctly because scientists understand that time itself bends. The universe is stranger than common sense, and gravity makes the mystery even deeper. Massive objects like planets and stars warp space and time around them. The stronger the gravity, the slower time moves. Near a black hole, time can slow dramatically compared to Earth. TFG score tier 1 awant en frak kan tu jam. Kiao tu. Imagine standing near an enormous black hole for what feels like only a few hours, then returning to Earth and discovering decades or even centuries have passed. To the human mind, that feels like science fiction. But according to physics, it may be possible. This changes the way we think about reality itself. Because if time can stretch and slow down, then maybe the universe is not operating on a fixed timeline at all. Maybe past, present, and future are not as separate as humans believe. Some physicists even suggest that time may already exist all at once, and humans simply experience it moment by moment because of the limits of consciousness. That idea alone is enough to disturb the human mind. And then there is the possibility of dimensions beyond our own. Humans experience reality in 3 dimensions of space and 1 dimension of time. That feels complete to us because it is all we have ever known. But some theories suggest the universe may contain additional hidden dimensions folded into reality itself. Imagine entire layers of existence surrounding you right now that your senses cannot detect. A fish living underwater cannot imagine mountains, clouds, or cities because its world is limited by perception. In the same way, humans may be trapped inside a small slice of reality, unable to fully perceive what exists beyond ordinary dimensions. Perhaps there are realities existing beside ours. Parallel universes, alternate timelines, different versions of existence unfolding simultaneously. It sounds unbelievable, yet some interpretations of quantum physics leave room for possibilities humanity once dismissed entirely. And maybe that is why the universe feels so mysterious. Because reality itself may be far larger than the human brain evolved to understand. Humans crave certainty. We want the universe to behave logically according to our expectations. But every major discovery forces humanity to accept something uncomfortable. Existence is under no obligation to make sense to us. Even time itself becomes unstable at the deepest levels of physics. Near the beginning of the universe, scientists believe normal concepts of time may completely break down. Asking what happened before the universe may not even make sense if time itself did not yet exist. Imagine trying to explain colors to someone born blind. Human minds may face the same limitation when trying to understand the true nature of reality. There could be aspects of existence completely beyond human comprehension. And still, humanity continues searching. That is what makes consciousness remarkable. Despite our limitations, humans refuse to stop asking questions. We stare into the darkness, trying to understand dimensions we cannot see and timelines we cannot fully imagine. We build machines capable of peering billions of years into the past. We challenge the boundaries of knowledge because something deep inside the human spirit refuses to accept ignorance. Maybe curiosity itself is part of what makes us human. But perhaps the most unsettling realization is this. If time, dimensions, and reality are far stranger than we imagined, then human existence may be only a tiny fragment of something infinitely greater. And somewhere beyond the limits of perception, the true nature of reality may already be waiting. Among all the mysteries scattered across the universe, nothing terrifies the human mind more than black holes. They are not just giant objects floating in space. They are places where reality itself begins to collapse. Places where the laws of physics struggle to survive. Places so extreme that even light, the fastest thing known in existence, cannot escape once it crosses a certain boundary. Imagine something so powerful that it traps light itself in eternal darkness. That boundary is called the event horizon. Once anything passes beyond it, there is no return, no signal, no escape. Not even information can easily come back. It is like the universe created a doorway into the unknown, and then sealed it shut forever. Tosen, frac 2gm, 2 tion. This equation describes the Schwarzschild radius, the point where an object becomes dense enough to form a black hole. But what makes black holes truly terrifying is not only their gravity, it is what they reveal about reality itself. Black holes are born when massive stars die. Imagine a star millions of times more powerful than Earth collapsing under its own gravity. The pressure becomes so enormous that matter is crushed beyond comprehension. Space and time bend inward violently, creating a region where normal physics no longer behaves predictably. And at the center of it all lies something called a singularity. A singularity is a point where density becomes infinite and the known laws of the universe completely break down. Human equations stop working there. Science cannot fully describe what happens inside. It is one of the few places in existence where humanity's understanding reaches a wall. Think about how disturbing that is. There are regions in the universe where human knowledge simply ends. And yet black holes are not rare. Scientists now believe enormous black holes exist at the centers of most galaxies, including our own Milky Way galaxy. Right now, at the center of the galaxy you live in, there is a supermassive black hole millions of times heavier than the sun, silently controlling the movement of stars around it. You cannot see it directly, but its presence shapes the galaxy itself. The universe hides monsters in darkness. What makes black holes even stranger is the way they distort time. Near a black hole, gravity becomes so powerful that time slows dramatically. To someone watching from far away, a person falling toward a black hole would appear to move slower and slower until they almost freeze in place. Meanwhile, for the person falling inward, time would feel normal. That means black holes do not just consume matter, they bend reality itself. F. Frac ME1 M2. Gravity near a black hole becomes so intense that it stretches objects apart in a horrifying process. Scientists call spaghettification. Imagine being pulled so violently that your body is stretched atom by atom. The closer you move toward the center, the stronger the gravitational difference becomes. And yet, despite all this destruction, black holes may also hold answers to some of the universe's deepest mysteries. Some scientists believe black holes could connect to other regions of space-time. Others wonder whether they might contain hidden information about the origins of reality itself. There are theories suggesting black holes may even relate to parallel universes or unknown dimensions beyond human perception. The truth is, nobody fully knows. And maybe that uncertainty is what makes black holes so fascinating. They represent the limits of human understanding. They remind us that even with all our technology, there are still places in the universe where humanity becomes powerless. Black holes do not care about human ego. They do not care about civilizations, wealth, or history. Entire stars disappear inside them without leaving visible traces behind. Compared to these cosmic giants, humanity feels unbelievably fragile. But strangely, black holes also reveal something beautiful about human curiosity. Even knowing how dangerous and mysterious they are, humans continue studying them. We send telescopes deeper into space. We build theories. We search for answers because the human spirit refuses to stop exploring the unknown. And perhaps that is the true power of consciousness. Not certainty, but curiosity. The universe placed terrifying mysteries in front of humanity, and instead of turning away, humans stared directly into the darkness asking questions. What exists beyond the event horizon? What happens to information inside a black hole? Can anything truly disappear forever? Does space itself hide pathways humanity has not yet discovered? No one knows, but somewhere out there, beyond the stars, hidden inside regions where light itself cannot survive, reality may be holding secrets far beyond anything the human mind has ever imagined. After everything humanity has discovered about the universe, the endless galaxies, the invisible dark matter, the distortion of time, the terrifying power of black holes, one mystery remains greater than all the others. A mystery so personal that most people overlook it every single day. Because after all the searching, all the equations, all the exploration into the stars, humanity still cannot fully answer the simplest question of all. Why are we conscious? Why does the universe contain beings capable of questioning existence itself? Think about how strange that really is. The universe could have existed as silent matter drifting endlessly through space. Stars could have burned for billions of years without anyone observing them. Galaxies could have collided in complete darkness forever. And yet somehow, consciousness appeared. Awareness emerged from lifeless matter. Human beings began asking questions no other known object in the universe can ask. Who am I? Why do I exist? What happens after death? What is reality? That changes everything. Because the greatest mystery may not be hidden somewhere far beyond the stars. It may exist inside the human mind itself. Out of all the known forces in existence, consciousness is one of the few things science still cannot fully explain. Scientists can study the brain, map neurons, analyze electrical signals, but none of that completely explains awareness. None of it explains why you feel alive from the inside. A machine can process information, but does it experience existence? Does it feel wonder, fear, meaning? Humans do. And perhaps that is what makes consciousness so extraordinary. The atoms inside your body were forged in ancient stars billions of years ago. Every breath you take contains matter older than Earth itself. In a very real sense, humans are made from the universe, but then something impossible happened. The universe became aware of itself through consciousness. You are not separate from existence. You are existence observing itself, and maybe that realization is more powerful than people understand. Most humans spend their lives distracted, chasing temporary things, worrying endlessly about status, money, opinions, and routines. But when you truly step back and think about reality, everything changes. Out of an almost infinite cosmos filled with darkness and silence, you were given awareness. The ability to think, to dream, to love, to question reality itself. That is not ordinary. Some people look at the size of the universe and feel insignificant. But perhaps consciousness gives humanity meaning beyond physical size. A tiny conscious mind may hold more mystery than an entire galaxy of unconscious matter. After all, stars cannot wonder why they exist. Black holes cannot search for purpose. Humans can. And maybe that search itself is part of the answer. Every civilization in history has searched for meaning in different ways. Through science, through philosophy, through spirituality, through religion. Humans are driven by something deeper than survival alone. We do not just want to live. We want to understand. We want to know whether existence has purpose beyond randomness. And perhaps the fact that humans ask these questions at all is meaningful, because consciousness changes the universe from something empty into something experienced. Without awareness, beauty would not exist in the way humans understand it. Music would be only vibrations. Sunsets would be only light. Emotions would disappear. Meaning itself would vanish. Consciousness gives reality depth, but it also creates fear. Humans know they are temporary. We understand death in ways no other known creature fully comprehends. And maybe that is why humans fear silence so deeply. Because in silence, the biggest questions return. What are we truly part of? Why does anything exist at all? Is consciousness temporary, or something deeper? No one fully knows, and perhaps that uncertainty is what connects all humans together. No matter how advanced civilization becomes, people still look into the night sky searching for answers. The universe continues pulling humanity toward mystery because deep inside, humans sense there is something greater than themselves. Maybe consciousness is not an accident. Maybe it is one of the rarest and most valuable things in existence. A brief moment where the universe becomes capable of wonder. And perhaps the greatest mystery is not hidden in distant galaxies or inside black holes. Perhaps the greatest mystery is the conscious mind listening to these words right now. And maybe the scariest truth of all is that the universe has been watching itself through us this entire time.